that we have for you guys. Stay tuned with the International Invitational 10s.
Next one up.
Welcome back to the Rugby 10s Invitational here at the Helderberg Rugby Stadium. It is the men's under 20 where the Balkan Honey Badgers goes up against the St. Clemente Rhinos. It's been a festival of great rugby ranging from the under 13, under 16, under 18 men and under 20 men and women as well. And that all-important mixed play also coming soon to take the innovation to a different level. Joining me in the commentary box, Paul Dalport, former Blitzbox women's coach. Paul, this is going to be a scintillating encounter to behold.
It certainly is. I think the Honey Badgers will be smarting after that defeat to the All-Stars. And Shah's already unfortunately stepped into touch there, but they've come out here with some real intent. The Rhinos also a quality team. They showed they're very comfortable in the contact and in the abrasive side of things. Very exciting matchup to come, Shah.
Absolutely. As the St. Clemente Rhinos immediately under the pump in this encounter. And they managed to secure their line out, but the ref says the ball was skew on that throw-in. And we've seen a lot of good scrums today, Paul, but unfortunately the lineouts hasn't been up to scratch in how teams would have probably wanted it to be.
Yeah, very true, Shah. I think also the lineouts, when you don't really have a lot of time together, it's maybe the one you decide to forego, as a coaching staff and a team. And also I think it's quite tough for the players. I don't think the viewers can quite see how windy it is on the field. It's a lot more of a breeze than we can possibly see. And again, it just shows difficult there. Ball not able to go to hand, and the Rhinos come away with it.
Yeah, Junaid Kutsia managed to getting over the advantage line as they opt to change direction with Roland Willemse. Good cover defense by the Elephants. Good show and go. Unfortunately not gaining the meters that he desired on that occasion, but now an opportunity for the Rhinos to penetrate through the middle. Good defense again shown by the Elephants as the Rhinos now change direction through Aldrich Wichmann. Moment the Rhinos trying to burst their way through the middle as Wichmann gains the momentum, and a good strong run from Roland Willemse as they change direction once again. The ref says ball went backwards, but now there's a chance on the outside for the number 11, that is Ashraf Fani. And the Balkan Honey Badgers applying a lot of pressure at that breakdown as the Rhinos is well inside the 22 now of the Balkan Honey Badgers. Good intensity being shown by the Rhinos franchise, and unfortunately ball being lost in contact as the Balkan Honey Badgers looks for much needed relief in their own 22. And a good kick down field, try and find some territory. And there might be a fortunate bounce here for the number 4 of the Balkan Honey Badgers. That is Jethan Arendse. At the moment the Rhinos are under pressure in their own 22. As there's a real chance now for the Badgers, but just a little bit stagnant at the moment with a long pass. And Nathan Beckers with a kick downfield, not finding much territory. the moment, both teams just utilizing their boots and trying to get some territory on one another and a little bit helter-skelter, but they manage now to gain some possession. Good flat pass by the Rhinos and some numbers here on the outside. And it's at the speedster, Ashrafani once again, keeping many defenders busy as they now take position with the 22 of the Balkan Honey Badgers. Lovely flat pass and a strong run bursting through the middle. Good interlinking play between backs and forwards as the number 15, Ashen Mitchell, opts to go same side. Good switch back to Marcelo van Beelen. Such a strong runner with ball in hand. And again, fortunately losing the ball in contact, but good enterprise being shown by both teams. Ball not shying away from the physical exchanges as well.
Yeah, be some heavy legs and some tired bodies on the field after that passage of play. And you're right, just the contrasting styles. It's so interesting to see the Rhinos doing very well there. Unfortunately, they couldn't come away with the points, but the ability to play in and out of contact, I really enjoy it. They're physical, they're abrasive when they need to be, but then also being able to stretch the Honey Badgers a bit and now earn themselves a very, very interesting attacking platform, middle of the field, 5 meters out. They'll be looking to make the most of the position here, put some points on the board.
Yeah, normally the blind side always an effective side to attack when you've got the middle scrum. But you've got to make sure you've got to secure your set piece first. It is score still deadlock at 0-0 between these two proud franchises, the Balkan Honey Badgers and the San Clemente Rhinos. Real forces to be reckoned with within the Rugby 10s format. Again, just showcasing their brilliance and their skill at the Rugby 10s Invitational right here at Helderberg Rugby Stadium. Good feed by Joe and Stefanus, and a good step by the youngster to get the first 5-pointer of the afternoon. Silky smooth skill by the diminutive 10, that is Joe and Stefanus. And good jink and weave there, Paul, to get the first score for the young man.
It was, Shal. I think he heard you. The option to take the blind side on was the right one. He was actually looking at the wrong side feed, and he walked on to the other side and then attacked that blind side. So fantastic finish there. She was saying Stefanus just playing to his strengths. You know, once you have feet and speed like that, you need to put yourself in a position to use it, and he did that so well.
Yeah, it's the San Clemente Rhinos taking this early lead now, 7-0 over the Balkan Honey Badgers. And it's that try scorer, Stefanus restarting play with a nice high-hanging kick. Good gather by the Balkan Honey Badgers as they try to look to bowl from their own half. And Rhinos applying real pressure at that breakdown, but they managed to get the ball away. Good cover defense once again by Ashrafani. The ref says you can't push the player without the ball. And the San Clemente Rhinos get the penalty inside the half of the Balkan Honey Badgers. The Badgers has been under pressure, Paul, in this first half, and they've shown some good glimpses of attack, but again, just that last pass, I feel like most players have been forcing it today with this gusty wind out here.
They certainly have, and then to add to that, they've been losing the physical battle. I think any and every time the Badgers and the Rhinos have collided, the Rhinos have come away on top. And it's certainly something that the Honey Badgers are going to need to look at. They're losing those physical confrontations. So, you know, what they did very well in their first game this morning was just moving the teams around, and they've got the players with the skill set to do that.
Great throw in by Marcel van Beelen, the hooker of the San Clemente Rhinos, as the advantage is still in the favor of the San Clemente Rhinos. Good strong run again through the middle by Joshua Bushwitz. It's now Joe and Stefanus again maneuvering the attack, but again losing the ball with the loose pass, but the ref says there was not enough advantage on that occasion. And the Rhinos get the penalty just outside of the 22 of the Balkan Honey Badgers. And again, an interesting option given that they're playing against the wind. But Van Beelen has been really good by feeding the line out. He's been quite steady at hooker, Paul.
Yeah, the Rhinos obviously feel the lineouts are an attacking platform that they can use. Let's just hope they make the most of it now.
Finding their jumpers from Beelen. He's been really good in the lineout, but now under pressure through that defense from the Badgers. But the ref awards the penalty as Roland Willemse again just maneuvering the attack and changing direction once again with a show and go. It's that man, Joan Stefanus. I've mentioned his names a couple of times, and he gets over for his second score of the afternoon. That young man has been a real live wire for the Rhinos. And the men in the white and green strip get the all-important 5-pointer now, leading by 12 points to 0 with a conversion to come. We've been using that word a lot, pressure, and you must still convert pressure into points, and that is what the Rhinos are doing, Paul.
They've done so very well, and Stefanus using his opportunities. He's certainly been the difference between these two teams. He's run the Rhinos attack quite well, and again, I think the Rhinos is looking a more settled team in this first half.
Yeah, the conversion not successful on that occasion, but Rhinos still have a good, healthy lead of 12 points to 0 over the Balkan Honey Badgers. Of course, both of these franchises such established forces within the rugby 10s format, and Badgers will try to look to finish this first half with some points. Good scrappy defense by the Rhinos, really applying a lot of pressure at that breakdown. The Badgers gets awarded the penalty as they look to speed up play through Nathan Beckers. The intensity in terms of the vacuum defense for the Rhinos, really good to witness as they change direction. And again, forcing the pass. Justin Phillips just losing the ball on that occasion, and Rhinos will probably kick this ball out to try and preserve the energy of this big group of forwards. But that concludes the first half of this men's under-20 division. It's the San Clemente Rhinos leading by 12 points to 0 over the Balkan Honey Badgers. It is the men's under-20 division right here, the Rugby 10s Invitational at the Helderberg Stadium. We're going to go down pitch side to Todd to have a listen at the halftime chat in the Rhinos huddle. Stay tuned for more action coming up after these.
Okay, I know you boys are getting tired, but we've got to keep working hard here. Okay, make them tackle us, and then we go. When we've got ball in hand, make them tackle us, then we go. Okay, backs, eyes up on mismatches as well. When we carry, have a look, see where the mismatches are. On defense, we're doing great. You guys are doing great. We still keep connecting. Put our faster boys on the edge. Connect, faster boys on the edge. We get up and turn the ball over. You guys are going well.
Coach, that was a great first half. What do you need to do to continue the success in the second?
Do more of the same, Toddy, more of the same. These boys here probably don't like the physicality, so our game plan is to probably go through them first and then try and go around them after the second, third phase.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Good luck, Coach.
Some great insights by the general manager and coach of the San Clemente Rhinos, Danny Lee. We're speaking about finding the mismatches, Paul, and that is sharp coaching. That is about identification, seeing the space and looking at what is in front of you. Something that not always so traditional in South African teams, you know, with all the pre-planned things, but good to see that the coaching at this level, encouraging the youngsters to look at the opportunity, the spaces and what is in front of you to obviously exploit at this level.
Well said, Joel, and also just playing to their strengths. You know, you heard there, we're going to go through them, we're going to suck them in, and then there'll be those mismatches, then there'll be those opportunities. And that's where the Rhinos have been very good. They have dominated the contact points, they've dominated every collision, and they've rolled forward. They've really put the Honey Badgers under pressure there. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep that momentum and just keep that complete physical domination that they've held throughout this first half.
Indeed, we're ready for this second half of the men's under-20 division. It's the San Clemente Rhinos currently leading by 12 points to 0 over the Balkan Honey Badgers. And we live here at the beautiful Helderberg Rugby Stadium for day one of the Rugby 10s Invitational. Good defense by the Rhinos, securing turnover possession. It is at man again. Ashraf Fani, so industrious in general play. And a good cutout pass by Aldrich Wichman, releasing Roland Willemse. Got a release in the tackle. Once the knees go to ground. Joshua Bushvets, always keeping many defenders busy through the middle. Good clean out. Rhinos won't be happy with the ruck speed in that encounter, but they still managed to gain some momentum, but losing the ball. And now an opportunity for the Balkan Honey Badgers with two men chasing the ball. It's a fortuitous bounce and a good offload. Again, the last pass letting the Balkan Honey Badgers down. And that would be a real coach killer, especially with three players. And that would have been a very important score just to get the confidence up, Paul, and getting themselves back into this match.
Yeah, the Honey Badgers really needed that. But again, it just shows the grit and the fight of this Rhinos team to chase back, to make the Honey Badgers work so hard to score that try. I must say, I've been so impressed with this Rhinos team in the first 11 and a half minutes of this game.
Yeah, I think, many defense coaches, they talk about chasing lost causes, and that is some phenomenal character. But the Honey Badgers have another opportunity. Great cutout pass as Ziad Lategan steps inside. Again, met very well in defense by Roland Willemse. He's going to have to be very careful not to be held up here in the contact situation. Rhinos are really swarming around him. And fantastic defense. It's been very difficult to find gaps in this Rhinos defense, Paul. But what would you say as the coach of the Balkan Honey Badgers of how they can exploit some sort of weaknesses in the strong defense of the Rhinos?
Yeah, I think where the Rhinos have been very good. They've been very connected on defense. They know exactly what they need to do. So maybe the Honey Badgers just need to shift the contact point. So, it sounds funny, but just that extra pass, so an inside ball here to possibly trap defenders on the far side, and then play back this side, and then also just try and not make it a physical battle. I mean, we look at now Roland Willemse, not the biggest man on the field, but getting stuck in winning that physical battle. And I think the Rhinos have sucked the Honey Badgers into that. And if I was the Honey Badgers coach, I'd be saying move them, spread them around, make them work, just attack spaces, not faces.
Absolutely. Scrum down now for the San Clemente Rhinos, and a good right shoulder as they try to run out of their own 22. Again, the loose pass being gathered by Wichman, and now some space on the outside. Need to be careful there for the late tackle. The ref says it was okay. And the Balkan Honey Badgers again under pressure as they try to look to run out of their own 22, and they get it right with Ashraf. So it's Ethan Adams rather. Good defense by Roland Willemse. He's been a real soldier for the Rhinos. Trying to use the ball and trying to find some space in this well-oiled defense of the Rhinos. At the moment, really slow ball coming from the breakdown and not generating some sort of momentum. But here's a chance for Jaden Steenkamp. Jaden Steenkamp jinking, and he weaving his way, even giving the little wave and a much needed 5 point for the Balkan Honey Badgers. Tyrese Ginneke, he's been phenomenal all day and a real threat for his team, and this 5 pointer would bode well for the confidence for the Balkan Honey Badgers, Paul.
Certainly will. Nice to see Ginneke with ball in hand again. I think he needs to go looking for a bit more work. He needs to be more involved. He's the start marker, as we say. In Afrikaans, he's the one who needs to do the business. But again, Charles, we've chatted about it for 15 minutes. As soon as the Honey Badgers keep the ball, move the Rhinos around, they're a different force. They're a real force to be reckoned with. If they're going to keep getting sucked into this physical battle, they're going to lose this game.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by the interlinking play of both teams between backs and forwards. And the combinations will grow as this tournament progresses for both of these teams. But for now, the under-20 men's division, where the St. Clemente Rhinos are leading by 12 points to 5 over the Balkan Honey Badgers. And now they're looking again to try and move their way through the middle. Is that man again, Marcelo van Beelen? He's had a real strong match, especially in the set piece today. They're up to go same side now with the loop around and a good switch on the outside. And again, just losing the ball. It's been one of the challenges today, with all of the teams dealing with this very strong wind. Moment this Rhino defense just smothering any sort of momentum that this Balkan Honey Badgers tries to present, and a good show and go from the young 10. Balkan Honey Badgers opting to go same side. Good little chip to find some space and a very good bounce for the young man. It is the number 1 Ziad Lategan with the shabby dive. And that for sure will make the social media reel later, Paul. Fantastic finish by the young man.
Definitely so. And that kick is such a dangerous option when done as well as this young man, Ziad Lategan, just did. And there we go, the Honey Badgers back in the game. And again, as we said, they've brought a bit of patience in the second half. They've held on to the ball nicely. They've moved the ball when they've needed to. And I think just their presence of mind has been very, very good. I think they're starting to back themselves a bit more as well. Certainly a
Ethan Adams with a successful conversion, squaring things up now. It's 12 apiece with less than 3 minutes to go in the second half. And again, we've got a thrilling finish that is up for grabs between the Balkan Honey Badgers and the St. Clemente Rhinos. It is the under-20 men's division. And it's been scintillating rugby from the minute, from word go, as the Rhinos again look to find and exploit some sort of gaps in this Balkan Honey Badgers defense. The breakdown set just right on the 10 meter in their own half. At the moment, a little lateral, but that is what these steppers want. They want to see the gaps being exposed. And it's that man, Joe and Stefanus. Couldn't release from Beelen. And the ref awards the penalty for the Balkan Honey Badgers. Good patience being shown. And this is now where you want your leaders to step up, Paul, just to show a bit of composure, given that the score is very tight with just less than 1.5 minutes to go.
Very true. I mean, the Honey Badgers, true to form, love the way they play. They always back themselves. That, however, not the best option.
Yeah, not the right option, especially given that you are in the 22, but the tap kick was done illegally, which means they will have a second bite of the cherry. And the Balkan Honey Badgers have a scrum about 10 meters away from the try line, and maybe one last gasp opportunity here for them to take it. It's been a bit of topsy-turvy match with the St. Clemente Rhinos really dominating for most parts of the match. Coach have been asking for being direct, looking for the mismatches, but it's the Balkan Honey Badgers that has really taken their opportunities, the limited ones that they've been receiving.
They certainly have in the second half, and I think they've gone back to their way of playing. You know, you look at the the expansive game they've played in the second half is their game, and it's given them opportunities to put their 12 points on the board. Unfortunately, it's a skewed throw.
Yeah, short on penalty awarded to the St. Clemente Rhinos. And, less than 15 seconds to go. It will probably be wise to tap and kick. And they do that. It's that man Van Beelen again. Just trying to look for valuable meters as they are still harbored in their own 22. Good drawn pass. As the ball is bundled out, and that concludes this under 20 men's division match between the Balkan Honey